Hello there, this is Miriam from Pain Outside the Box, and today I'm gonna talk about a topic that some people will resist, but that's extremely important if you're just starting out on your chronic pain healing journey. So, I'm talking to those people who are starting to consider the possibility that their chronic symptoms are due to the mind-body connection and not just a structural or physical cause. So the first thing you need to do in order to be successful with this approach is to let go of what I call the blame game. So the blame game happens whenever you blame your symptoms on a factor that is totally outside of yourself and usually in the past. So to give you an example, in the past year, I've had a number of clients who have started to experience intense symptoms following either the COVID vaccine or after they themselves caught COVID. Now, it's a tricky situation because it is true that they might have experienced severe side effects, both from the vaccine and from COVID. But what usually happens is that it's not really possible to continue to experience the same side effects for months or years. It rarely does happen unless there's a specific physical damage that's quite obvious. So what happens in that case is that the person would have been worried or scared, understandably. There would have been real side effects, that's true. And then what happens is the brain perceives those side effects as so threatening that it would continue to fire the danger signal. And pain and other symptoms are none other than the danger signal. Okay, so when we are feeling threatened, we are more likely to feel pain and other symptoms. So if this person keeps feeling threatened and keeps believing that it's the vaccine or the COVID infection that he's had a year ago that are still continuing to cause their symptoms, then this person is stuck in the blame game, right? So he's blaming his symptoms on something that happened in the past, and that most probably there is no correlation between that event and the symptoms that he is feeling now, because symptoms can start out as real physical symptoms, real side effects, and they can transition into mind-body symptoms because of the way that a person perceives these symptoms and reacts to them. So sometimes we don't know when the transition takes place, right? So we catch an infection, we get real severe symptoms like a severe headache. And then what happens is if that headache lasts long enough and we start to fear it and we start to indulge in the thought of, oh, maybe this is going to last forever, then that headache may transition into mind-body pain that feels almost exactly the same as the initial physically caused headache, but that is actually being recreated due to a faulty programming in the brain. So this is how neuroplastic symptoms actually work. And what people and also doctors fail to recognize is that this transition is very real and it takes place in a lot of situations. So COVID and vaccines aside, it can also take place when someone has an accident, for example, and damages his ankle. And even after this ankle is healed, he would continue to feel pain, but this time it's not due to the damage, it's not due to the incident anymore. It's due to the way that he still perceives using his ankle as dangerous. He still perceives that area of the body as a problem area. So this is why the first thing you would need to do if you want to successfully approach chronic pain from a mind-body standpoint is to let go of blaming these past circumstances for causing your pain. It's true they might have caused pain or damage in the past, but it's highly unlikely that they are still the origin of your pain. But if you hold on to that belief, then there can almost be no progress because that belief in itself is going to make you feel totally and completely powerless to change anything, okay? Because you'll keep thinking, oh, but that happened to me, but it's because of this, and you'll try to find all sorts of proof that it's because of this. And this is not helping you. It's just cementing your identity as a victim and as a chronic pain sufferer. So basically, I've just revealed what you need to do first. You need to let go of the victim identity and gradually also let go of the identity as a chronic pain sufferer, because that identity cements the idea in your mind that your condition is there to last forever, that it's something permanent, okay? So again, it takes away all of your power. Now you might tell me, but it's still true that I'm in pain, so, I didn't choose this pain. Yes, of course, it is true that you are in pain now, but you are in pain now because of the neural connections that formed in the past and that are being kept alive because you have withheld this identity, or because you might have kept blaming this or that accident or vaccine or illness for causing the symptoms. So as much as possible, try to look for proof that this is not so. So one of the things that you can do is take a look at your life week to week since you've had symptoms, and have a look at the way that sometimes symptoms have shifted or changed. Maybe you had better pain days, maybe you had worse pain days, maybe these worse pain days coincided with more stress in your life. So you have to make a case for the fact that maybe that original cause is not necessarily to blame for your present pain, even though it might have been to blame for your past symptoms. Okay, so that's really the message I wanted to get across, especially now at this time of year that, we've started a new year and some people might be considering starting afresh with the MindBody approach to chronic pain. I'd just like to remind you that I have several resources on my website, some of them free, some of them paid, for you to inform yourself and get a better idea of what this approach involves. So I'll just put the links in the description. Okay, until next time. Bye-bye.